All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the MMM Manchester Chabura. Thank you to our corporate sponsors of the night, Light Power, Zush Zaltz of his company, and of course, Menachem Sussman of My Auto Sales. Couldn't do this without you. So, we are now post-Shavuos. We have to figure out the Vayda now, Yehuda, right? What's the Vayda? What can we find? So it's very interesting. This week's Parsha, as you may or may not know, discusses the Parsha of Saita. So what does Saita have to do with us? Hopefully nothing. But Saita is a lady who was not faithful to her husband. And every part of the Torah, there's something to take out directly to us. And even from a Saita, which we're men, and what can we take out? How's it negate to us? So, a few weeks ago, some of you may have kids in this Mendy Ferns baseball league. It's very geschmack. If you didn't sign your kids up, I'm plugging him. Mendy, this is for you. You should sign your kids up for his baseball league. Something incredible happened. So my son is on the team, and every week, all the kids, they run to be number one, to be number one batter. Standard protocol. They get to 2:30, and they run to start fighting. I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Mendy Fern is a big pikach. He knows how to run a league. So what happens? So he tells the Olam. So they're all screaming, "I want number one. I want number one." Okay. So he picks number one, and he's all excited. Number two, okay, he's also excited. Number three, also good. He gets to number four. He has to break the news to number four. You like your number four? And the kid says, "No, I want to be number one." So what does Mendy tell him? He says, "Number four is power hitter." And the kid goes, "Oh." He says, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, fine." He's all happy. New mission. He's charged with a new mission that he's here, number four power hitter, and it says if he's number one. He goes on to number five, and he's upset. And he says, "Number five." He says, "Number five got to sweep everyone in." The chulu v'chulu. He gets number 8 and number 9, and each one he has another Torah. And I remember number 8. The kid was like, 8. He said, "No, number 8." He's like, "It's 8 sweep again." And the kid's like, "8 sweep, yeah." And sold, as if he was number one. After Shavuos, we're talking about Shavuos before and the different feelings. So we can feel like, okay, very nice. We went through the motions. We stayed up at night. But like Lamaisa, we're back at it. We're talking about getting back to work, and it can be very hard, and we're on this spiritual high. And Lamaisa, we come crashing down like right after. It's like, it's like the top of the roller coaster and straight down until like, L. But I think we always try to draw smichas in the Parshas, juxtapositions. Why is it that Parshas Naso is always the Parsha right after Shavuos? It's always like that. It's Shavuos and then Naso. And what's specific? The Parsha of Saita. What's the message behind Saita? And I think that this is mamash the Inyan. When we feel that we're number 4 and number 5 and number 6, number 7, number 8, number 10, we feel that Shavuos came and went, and now like, okay, heading south, back to work. The summer's coming. The Torah speaks straight to. The Torah anticipates the machshavas of our leiv, the imminent downfall that a lot of us can encounter. And what does the Torah tell us about the Saita? If she was unfaithful to her husband, to the point that the Nikinu and Stira, that's almost like a Saita, that she has to have Edim, and there's the whole process, and she drinks the Me'im Marim, and she can blow up. Right? But the Gemara in Saita Daf Yud Zayin says an astounding bracha, gives an astounding blessing to the Saita if she passes the test, if she's found to be innocent. And what does it say? Zakti Mar in Saita, Shem Tahirayi, Yula Banim Tzadikim Bali Torah. Okay? So you have a lady, she was unfaithful to her husband to the point that the husband had to warn her, that they say, "You bad lady, you rotten lady, you come to Bezin with me," and they had to give her the Mei Marma Ma'arim. They chisel out Hashem's name from a Sefer Torah, they have her drink it, and she's going to explode, right? If she's guilty, she's going to explode, if not. And says the Gemara in Saita, She'im Tahirahi, if she's found to be innocent, Yula Banim Tzadikim Bali Torah. She's going to have righteous children, meritorious children, who are Tamid Chachamim. Can I ask you a simple question?
we all daven. We say the Tfilas Hashla on Rosh Chodesh Sivan, and we Yom Kippur, and the Tfilas Hashla. There's always segulas that we cry by lich benching. We all want banim tamidei chacham. We want tzaddikim. That's what we want. That's what we're here for. Midamal, you have a lady who did the most atrocious thing. She was unfaithful to her husband to the point that they had to be moichik Hashem's name into the waters. And says the Gemara, you want to know who the bracha of banim tzaddikim tamidei chachamim is going to? Who is it going to? This lady. If she's found to be innocent after all of the unfaithfulness that she's committed. Havila banim tzaddikim bali Torah. So maybe is that the segula? Forget the tfilas hashla. Forget about all that stockas or meir balanes. Just have this lady who did the worst possible thing, all the way till the limit. She is going to have banim tzaddikim, banim timidei chacham. It's good kasha. Maskim. Shvar kasha. Laser. Yehuda. What's the answer? What's the title? What's the side? What I love about these Yisoidis is that it's often in the Torah. It's not a joke, it's not made up. It's straight out. Zokt Rebelliol Apian. What is the Torah trying to convey? What is Chazal telling us? Chazal is telling us that a lady who was unfaithful, who took all these negative steps to the point where they had to erase Hashem's name from the Torah, the fact that at the last second, when she could have slipped, that veer was so stark, and she held on, and she said no. And she came out zakai, she came out innocent. The Torah is saying that to such a lady, Havila banim, tzadikim, banim tamidei chachamim. She's going to merit the greatest of the great, what we all daven for. Not to say Chalila, that that's the way to do it. Not to say Chalila, that this is the lechatchila way to go. But a lady, a person, kvishas hayetzer, kvishas hamidas, who can hold stark in the last second, at the buzzer, make the right choice. Hashem says, I don't want you to feel that you lost everything, and fakir. You're going to be zeichet to the bracha of banim tzadikim bali Torah. What is that for us? That right after Shavuos, we can think we were on this high, and now it's like, okay, jump back into the back seat, and we're just heading south. We're done. We'll wait to the next service, to the klap on Rosh Chodesh El, Shabbos Mevarchim. But the Torah, right after Shavuos, preempts these machshavas that we can think that we're at the top and we're at the low, and let's just hit it. The Torah says no. Every time there's an Nisayan, every time we're presented with a challenge, every time you have an opportunity for aliyah, for growth, for ruchnias, and you come out stronger, you come out better, says Rav Eli Lapian, you're zeichet to this same exact bracha of Havila Banim Timidei Chachamim. In that situation, those circumstances, and that's how we're zeichet to godless. By realizing that every opportunity, Hashem is looking, Hashem is cheshboning, Hashem is speculating, He's mashkiach on everything. And when we make those choices of strength, those choices of courage, Hashem says, I don't care what happened before. All the mess ups, all the slips, all the negativity, but that one thing of courage, that one overcoming, kvisha seyetzer, Hashem doesn't discount that. And Hashem is going to give that segula, that bracha, says Rav Eli Lapian, of banim tzadikim bali Torah. It's known, the Chafetz Chaim used to say that people, a lot of times this happens. In halacha, you have to have in mind, at least the first bracha of Shemana Esrei. If you don't have in mind, you don't have kavanah, you're not yitzid the tefillah. But the Chafetz Chaim used to say, if you blew the entire tefillah, and you're already old by Moedim or Simshalom or even Alekah, wherever it is, he said, don't falazin the ganze zach. Don't let go of the whole entire thing. Hashem understands, Hashem knows what goes in our minds. And he said, if you can chapa his service at the last second, jump on it. Take that to the bank, and Hashem is willing to provide. Hashem is there, He has bounty, He has endless oitzos hatoiv. And we should never think, we learn from the Parshas of Saita, that she was at the worst moment, And she was zakai at the last moment, and she went through all the unfaithfulness to her husband. They chose out Hashem's name. Hashem says, "Havi l'banim tamidei chachamim." Just a few rice. I had this machshava during Mincha today. I once heard a Maridik Var from Rabbi Chaim Dov Stark, the Mashkiach of Centers in Eretz Yisrael. We end off the bracha of al tzadikim al chazidim, right? Baruch Ata Hashem, Mishan u'mivtach la tzadikim. Does anybody, you know what a Mishan u'mivtach la tzadikim is? What's a Mishan? A Mishan is a cane. It's a support. Support. So the question is, why does Hashem have to support Mishan u'mivtach la tzadikim? If anything, it should be the Beininim, it should be the Shlachta mentioned, the people that aren't the big Talmid. But the tzadikim, why do they need the Mishan? Why do they need Hashem to be their leaning post? If they're so great, if they're tzaddikim, if they're so righteous, if they're such Talmidei Chachamim, then they don't need the Mishan, they don't need the extra support. But the answer is the fakir. That tzaddikim, the level of tzaddikim, when we capitalize on these moments and we are at the brink, we can't tap into the tzidkus. But we think, Hashem doesn't care, Hashem gave up on me. And the act of tzidkus is mamish right there. Hashem said, we say Mishan u'miftach tzadikim, that in those moments where it's so challenging, where we don't realize that we have the opportunity to bring the tzidkus into fruition, we say, Hashem, I'm begging you, I beseech you, let me realize even then, be my Mishan, be my rock, be my stronghold, be my anchor. Let me realize that even then when I feel tumah, when I feel like I'm in a cesspool, like I'm in a sewer, let me realize that tzidkus is right over the line and I just have to go a little bit weiter, and I could be the tzaddik too. And that's what we ask Hashem, Mishan u'miftach tzadikim. Because tzidkus can be right there and we don't realize we can just ask. We have to, a little bit more. We messed up. We looked. We said. We thought. Just keep on going. That's the parsha of Soita. That's what we take out. Havilo banim, bali Torah. It's for all of us in all circumstances. And that's why I think there's many reasons why, again, my Parshas Naso is right after Bamidbar, after Shavuos. But this perhaps is another reason. But right after Shavuos, we're on this high. And we go so low. We go into the summer and then the Ben Mitzar and we forget about everything. Hashem says, start off the slate and remember this segula. It's not just for the Soita, it's for all of us. We can tap into this message, the Gemara in Soita, Yud Zayin, that even when we mess up, even when we fall down, Sheva Yupol Tzadik V'Kam, the 7 nefilas aren't b'diavad, it's the chatchila. Those nefilas are necessary, they're vital for our growth. With the nefilas, V'Kam, that's how we're going to rise to greatness, we're going to rise to Gedula, rise to Tzidkus. So may Hashem give us the siyata d'shmaya, the recognition. This parsha, it's always a segula, the parsha of the time is Ashpaisa there now, so we should have the atzlacha and the recognition and the mindset to realize that whatever opportunity presents itself, tzidkus is always a step away. Push a little harder, a little stronger. The past we can do tshuva, but let's focus on the future. Take that extra step, that extra knack, and in that merit, may we be zeichet to the Gemara's bracha of Havila, Banim, Talmidei Chachamim, Banim Tzadikim, Banim, Bali Torah. Shkoyach.